Okay, the title of these notes is going to be Greatest Common Factor, which is the GCF. Okay, we're going to use these notes to learn how to correctly and completely reduce fractions. I know that I've told you if it's even over an even, it has to be reduced, which you can reduce it by 2, but we're going to learn here how to make sure we don't have to reduce it multiple times by 2. Okay, I've also told you to look that if the numerator goes into the denominator, then you can reduce it. But we're going to look at some other things that we need to know about reducing fractions so that you have it down 100% before you get ready to go to 5th grade. Plus, it's just good information for your unit test and your CBA. Okay, so greatest common factor. We use the greatest common factor, or GCF, to reduce fractions. Okay, we use the GCF to reduce fractions. So step 1. To find the GCF, you list all the factors. Okay, all the factors of the numerator, which is the top number, and the bottom number, which is the denominator, to find the biggest or quote-unquote greatest factor both of the numerator and denominator have in common. So we're looking for the biggest number both factors have in common, okay? Or both numbers have in common. The greatest common factor. 2, we're going to take the GCF and we're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. That will reduce your answer. Okay, so you know, we've been talking about it. Whatever you do to one part of the fraction, you have to do to the other. So because we're going to divide by a number in the numerator, you have to divide by the same number in the denominator. So we're going to take the GCF and divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. And that will reduce your answer. All right. So to find the GCF, we use T-charts. If you think back, we used T-charts when we talked about prime and composite numbers. Okay, we used T-charts when we did prime and composite numbers. You can look back in your notes. It should be there if you copied it down. Okay, T-charts. This is a T-chart. It's the number we're looking for, goes on top. You draw a T underneath it. And then these are factors. Numbers multiplied together to get another number. 1 times 21 equals 21. 3 times 7 equals 21. You're multiplying two numbers to get the number on top. Okay? So let's look at some practice problems. Okay? Let's find all the factors for 15. Right now, we're not going to do reducing the fraction. Right now, we're just going to find the factors for 15. So, I'm going to do 15, and I'm going to draw my T-chart. I always start with 1. 1 times 15 equals 15. And then you say, after 1 comes 2. Can 2 times a number equal 15? No. After 2 is 3. Can 3 times a number equal 15? The answer is yes. 3 times 5. And then after 3 comes 4. Can 4 equal 15? Nope. And then there's 5. So we've already got done with that one. So the factors are 1, 3, 5, and 15. If you'll look in your journal, we have already done this kind of work where we had to list all the factors. Okay? But now what we're going to do is we're going to use that information to make T-charts to use for reducing fractions. Let's do another one. Let's do the number 18. So I'm going to do a T-chart for 18. Start with 1. 1 times 18. There's always going to be a 1. And then 2. Because 18 is even, 2 will go into it 9 times. Okay, and then 3. 3 will go in 18 6 times. Okay, 4, closest I can get is 4 times 4 is 16, and 4 times 5 is 20, so that doesn't fit. 5, it ends in a 5 or a 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, so nope. 6, I already have it. If you go in order, starting with 1, and just count down, count up, and then go up the other side, it'll make it so much easier, and you won't forget something. Okay, so my factors are 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Those are your factors for the number 18. Okay, so now let's put that to work. If I have a fraction that is 15 over 18, okay, we're going to use our T-charts to find the biggest number they both have in common. So our common factors they both have a 1, obviously. There's a 3 here and a 3 here. So 1 and 3. 6, no 6, 9, no 9 up here. 18, no 18 here. So the biggest factor they both have in common is the number 3. Okay, so I go to my T-chart and I'm going to circle the 3 on both of them. And then I'm going to divide the numerator by 3 and the denominator by 3. Now, here's what's really cool. If you do your T-charts and you write them neatly, your answer is already on your T-chart. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So if you do your T-chart right and you keep it neat and you circle your greatest common factor, the answer will be right next to it. Okay? The answer to your problem will be right next to it. All right, let's do something like 14 over 16. Okay, I'm going to do a T-chart for 14 and then a T-chart for 16. 1 times 14, 2 times 7, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15. Nope, that doesn't work. 4, 8, 12, 16. Nope. 5, then n and a 5 are a 0. 6, nope. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. So nope, this is all the factors that I can get for 14. And if you like to put the multiplication sign in between, that's fine. 16, 1 times 16. 2 times 8. Okay, 3 doesn't go into 16 because 3 times 5 is 15, so that's not going to work. 4 times 4, so we have a double. 4 times 4. All right, so now we're going to find the common factors. 1, 2, there's a 7, nope. 14, nope. So the common factors are 1 and 2. But the GCF is 2. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 2. Again, I'm going to use my chart. Circle the 2 because it's my greatest common factor. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 7/8. Okay. All right. So I want you to list me all the factors for 25. I don't like that. So make a T-chart and then list all the factors for 25. Okay, so there's my T-chart. 1 and 25. 3 doesn't go into 25. 4 doesn't go into 25. But 5 does. 5 times 5. So I hit a double, so I'm done. So the factors are 1, 5, and 25. That should have been your answer. Okay, do 49. List me the factors for 49. Okay, 1 times 49 ends in a 9, so 2 is not going to go into it. 4 plus 9 is 13, so 3 doesn't go into it. 4 is not going to go into it. 5 doesn't go into it. 6 isn't going to go into it. The only thing that's going to go in is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. Okay, so when I list my factors, remember I don't need to list 5 twice, do I? So I have a double, so I'm only going to list it once. 1, 7, 49. Okay, all right. So how about list the factors for 26. List me all the factors for 26. One times 26. 2 times 13. Okay, 2 plus 6 is 8. So 3 doesn't go into it. What about 4? 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. Nope. All right, 5. Nope, doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. 6, it won't go into 6 because it didn't go into 3. 7. Okay, we just have to try. 7, 14, 21, 28. Nope. 8. 8, 16, 24. Nope. All right. 9, 18, 27. Nope. All right, so my factors for 26 are 1, 2, 13, and 26. Okay. All right, so now let's put this kind of work to use. We're going to use it to find the greatest common factor now. So if I have 8 over 12, what are the factors for 8? List all the factors. Okay, now list all the factors for 12. Okay, so it should have been 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 3, no, 4, we're right back at 4, so that's it. All right, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and then after 3 comes 4, so we're done. All the factors you listed. Now let's find the GCF. Tell me which one of those is the GCF. Find the greatest common factor. Okay, so they both have a 1. They both have a 2. They both have a 4. And 8. No, so that's it. So the greatest common factor is 4. So now you're going to divide the numerator by 4 and the denominator by 4. Okay, 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 2/3. All right, do the same one now. 15 and 20. First, list me all the factors for 15. All right, now list me all the factors for 20. Okay, tell me what the GCF is. And then divide the numerator and the denominator by the GCF. All right, so you should have done 1 times 15, 3 times 5, 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. Their common factors are 1 and 5. Okay, so the biggest number they both have in common is 5. So the GCF should have been 5. You divide top and bottom by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 3/4. Okay. All right, do 21 over 35. Reduce that fraction and tell me what you get. All right, so you should have done a T-chart for 21. 1 times 21, 3 times 7. T-chart for 35. 1 times 35. 2 doesn't go into it. 3 doesn't go into it. Neither does 4. But 5 does. 5 times 7. Common factors are 1 and 7. The GCF equals 7. So I'm going to divide the numerator by 7 and the denominator by 7. Okay. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 35 divided by 7 is 5. Okay. 21 over 35 reduces to 3/5. Okay. Try 6 over 18. Tell me what your reduced fraction will be. All right. So you did a T-chart for 6 and a T-chart for 18. 1 times 6, 2 times 3. Okay. And then you did 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and that's it. Common factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. You had a GCF of 6. So you're going to divide the numerator by 6, divide the denominator by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay? So just make sure that you're listing all the parts. Okay? Because if you're skipping steps or not listing all the factors, you're not going to be able to reduce your fraction all the way. And if you don't reduce your fraction all the way, you will not get your least common denominator. I mean, your smallest fraction. And if you don't get your smallest fraction, it's going to be wrong. So another word you need to write down is simplify. Simplify. Simplified. Simplest form. They all mean to solve completely. And yes, you need to write this in your journal. Okay, simplify, simplified, simplest form. No matter how it's written, all of it means for you to solve completely. So that means to reduce when we're talking about fractions. Okay, so you have to make sure that you work that problem all the way to where it is completely simplified, smallest terms you can get it. Okay? One of the things that you're going to be seeing is on worksheets and STAR, CBA, mock, unit test. It's going to ask you to reduce or simplify or put it in simplest form. So you need to know that means solve. Sometimes you've seen simplify when we're talking about order of operation. That means to solve. Okay? So you have to make sure that you are solving all the problems and working everything out completely. All right? After you finish this one, you're going to be going to the next video, which you will be doing more review, and then you'll be doing an assignment.